spending most of the time just on your mat and on the floor. I have my friends here who are going to demonstrate with me. So I'm going to turn around and lie on the floor. So you guys will face me. We're going to start in a diamond position. So the diamond position, you want to check, make sure your fingertips and your elbow can fit in between your legs, basically, right? So that diamond is fairly long. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to bring our arms by our sides. And then we're going to flip the palms. We lift and then press down. So it's like flusher floor work from my training. Lifting nice and tall. So we're drawing the shoulders down the back and you're pressing like you're moving your arms through peanut butter. We lift and press. Lift and press. One more, lift and press and hold. So now you're going to bring your arms in front of you, so they're right in between your thighs. Again, draw the shoulder down. You're going to lift the arm up and lower back down. You should feel that work through your obliques here. You're adding your own tension, drawing the shoulders down and lift. We're just alternating arms. One of those things. It doesn't look like it's much. Getting out of the sun a little. And left arm. And then adding on, you're going to lift your right arm. You're going to rotate to the right. You reach your arm behind you to the floor. And then you lift up overhead and then rotate back to center and press that arm down. Alternating. Lift. Rotate through the chest, reach your arm all the way to the floor if you can, lift it back up, and then center and lower that arm down. And we lift, rotate, reach to the floor. Draw that arm up like you're moving through peanut butter, center, and bring it down. Left arm, lift, rotate, reach the arm to the floor, look behind you, lift up, and center, and press that arm back down. Two more each side, up. Rotate, reach to the floor, lift up to the side and center, and left arm up, rotate the ribs, nice, reach, lift up and center and press that arm down. Last time on the right, we lift, rotate, reach the floor, lift up, center and lower back down, and left arm lift, rotate, reach the floor, lift up to the side and center and lower the arms down. Okay, I'm going to place your arms back beside you and then you can kind of play with the placement of your arms. You're going to hinge back and then lift back up. So keeping that spine straight and lift back up. We hinge back and lift back up so you should feel your core connect. Hinge back and lift back up. Hinge back and lift back up, and they're going to hinge back and hold. So here you might want to place the hands just to help you lift through that chest, and they're going to lift the right leg and lower. Alternate, left, lift the right, and left, lift the right, and left. One more, lift the right and left, and then we'll bring those knees together. All right, you can place your hands a little bit closer to you. Depending on your shoulders, you can have the fingertips towards you or away. You get to play with it, okay? So you're going to contract back, tuck through that tailbone, and you're going to bring your knees a little bit closer to you. So kind of balance on that tailbone. Press your shoulder blades nice and open. You're going to do a little can-can, so your toes will touch the floor. You're going to rotate through the hips, that hip will lift, and then center, and then left leg to the side, and center, right leg, and then left, right, and left. You're going to go to the right and hold. Extend the legs. Bend and center. We go left. Extend. Touch and center. We go right. Extend. Touch and center and left. Extend. Touch and center. We go right. Extend. Touch and center. You feel like a dancer? Left. Extend. Bend and center. Last little set. You rotate right Extend the legs, tap those ankles together for 4, 3, 2, 1. We bend and center. And then left hip, extend, squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. We bend and center. Good. I'm going to have you guys come onto your mats so you'll be in the same direction as me. You'll be in that diamond position. Okay, you guys can be close together. Yeah. You want to scooch in too, Kelsey? You okay? Okay. So we're going to bring our arms out in front. And lift up nice and tall. And you're going to start to roll back. So we tuck through that tailbone, scoop the belly. Your legs will get a little bit longer. That down will get longer. You're going to go all the way down. Good. You're going to reach your arms up overhead behind you. Then you're going to reach the arms to the ceiling. Curl the head and shoulders up. And then continue to roll all the way up. And then we'll take a stretch over those thighs. Little pulses for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you'll start to roll back. Tucking that tailbone. Scoop to the belly. You can start to bring the heels a little bit closer to you if you'd like. We go all the way down to the floor. And then lower those arms back behind you. We lift up. Curl the head and shoulders. And then peeling all the way up and over. Nice job. And then little pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rolling back, peeling down, nice control, arms lift behind you, and then reach to the ceiling, curl those head and shoulders, and then coming all the way up and over, and then pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you'll roll down. This time you'll place your arms down by your side. Okay, again, you're going to bring your arms out to a T. We're going to do our little leg work here. So we'll extend those legs out onto the mat to start. And then bend your knees in towards your chest. And then extend the legs up to the ceiling. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit more Fletcher work here. Those arms out to a T. What you're going to do is just kind of like what you're doing with that can-can. You're going to lower the left leg. It's going to go all the way to the floor. Really think of reaching that right leg up to the ceiling, right? So your hips are like in external rotation. And you'll bring those legs together, and then you'll lift that leg back up. You drop that hip to bring the legs together. And then the right leg reaches, or left leg reaches up to the ceiling. And you bring the legs together. Now you're stacking those hips. So you try to get that top leg in line with the bottom leg. And then we lift the top leg back up, keeping that hip off. And then sink the hip to bring the legs together. And then left leg reaches, right leg reaches up to the ceiling. Good. And then stacking those hips. Good. And then right leg reaches, drop that hip to bring the legs together. And then right leg reaches, left leg up to the ceiling. And then we bring the legs together. Good. And then left leg reaches, drop that hip, and together. Adding on. Left leg reaches to the floor, right to the ceiling. Now bring your legs together. Again, stack the hip, try to get that top leg in line. Now you're going to reach that right arm up to the ceiling and bring the arms together. Good. Then we'll lift the arm, bring it back to the floor, and then lift that top leg, drive back up into the floor to bring those legs together. Good. Then left leg reaches, right leg, left leg up to the ceiling. Good. Then bring the legs together, reaching, stacking this hip. Perfect. And then bring that left arm and bring those arms together. And then lift the left arm, place it back to the floor, lift that top leg, sink that hip to bring the legs together. And then we go left leg to the floor, right leg to the ceiling, bring the legs together, reaching, good. And then bring that left arm, or that right arm, sorry, and then lift up to the ceiling, reach, opening that chest, try to get all the way to the mat, and top leg lifts, drive the hip down to bring the legs together. Last time, right leg, left leg lifts to the ceiling, good. Bring that left leg in line with the other, and then that left arm, lift, good, and then lift to the ceiling, open up, press your palm into the floor, and then left leg lifts, drop that hip, and then bring the legs together, good. And then you just bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. You're going to bring your arms down by your side here, and then you'll separate the feet sits bone width apart, and then bring the heels close to your sits bones, and make sure your heels are underneath your knees. And then pressing your feet down into the floor, we'll start with just some little pelvic curls, and then release back down. And then little curl, and release back down. So we're just pressing the belly button into the mat. Squeeze the glutes to lift that tailbone up, and then feel that sway in the back, and little curl and release, and little curl and release, and little curl and release. And then adding on, we're going to curl and pause, and then continue to roll up through the spine, pressing down equally through the feet, knees out over the toes. And then from there, we soften at the chest. You go sternum to, in between the shoulder blades, roll the ribs down one at a time, and then lower all the way down. Good. And then tuck that tailbone, scoop the belly, lift all the way up, knees out over those toes. And then holding here, you're going to lift your right arm up to the ceiling and lower. And then your left arm up and lower. Lift the right arm and lower. Lift the left arm and lower. Lift the right arm and hold. Lift your left arm and hold. And then little pulses up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then roll the spine down, one vertebrae at a time, and releasing. Then bring your arms back down by your side. And then press down through the feet, scoop through the belly, lift those hips all the way up, knees out over the toes. Now we're going to lift the right arm up to the ceiling and then reach it behind you, like on a diagonal to the floor. Yep, and then lift up and press it back to the floor by your feet. Yep, and then lift the left arm up to the ceiling and then reach it behind you to the floor and then back to the ceiling and then down by your side. Reach the right arm up, reach it behind you, lift to the ceiling and press it down by your side. Left arm and reach it behind you, lift up and lower. Lift the right arm up, reach it behind you. See if you can hold it there. Lift the left arm up and place it to the floor behind you. Feel that reach as you lower that spine down one vertebrae at a time, releasing that tailbone. Good. Opposition. And then we'll bring the arms up and then back down by your side. Good. And then keep the arms pressed here. Tuck through the tailbone, scoop through the belly, lift those hips all the way up. I want you to think of your hip bones like a typewriter, okay? You're going to shift a little to the right and then to the left. So make sure you're not dropping. We're just typewriter right and left. Little transfer right and left. Little transfer right and left. Again, like a typewriter. You're doing perfect, Alyssa. It's awesome. You got a lot of mobility in your spine. And left and right and left. One more right and left, and then we hold center. Now you're going to drop down just an inch. Hold there. And again, you're going to shift right and left. So think of your hip bones like a plate, right? They don't drop. They just go side to side, side to side, and then center, and then drop down an inch. And then again, transfer a little right and left, right and left, right and left. One more right and left, and then center, and then drop down a little. Good. Our last little segment here, again, right, sliding like you just hovered off the mat. Right and left, right and left. One more right and left, and then center, and then lower all the way down. Good job. Right, you're going to grab onto the back of the thighs. Pull your knees in towards your chest, and then you'll rock and roll yourselves up to a seated position. All right, and then you'll turn and face me. We're going to go into a mermaid position. So if this, a lot of times to get this sits bone down, this knee has to pop up. Depends on your flexibility in your hips. I'm fairly tight in the hips, and you can always just kind of separate the legs, but you guys are young and flexible, so you should be fine. All right, so from here, you're going to go towards your bent leg. So you're going to go up and over, and then you're going to lift tall. You place the hand onto the mat, and you go heel the hand, and then stretch over to the side. And then you'll unweight the arm from your obliques, and then we go over to the side. And then lift, place the hand, and side bend to the floor. And lift, unweight the hand from those obliques, and side bend. Lift, and side bend.
Sit bones close to the floor as possible. I don't want your side bending.
Yeah, it's hard. Mine definitely, this one definitely lifts up for sure. Yeah, this one is not on the mat. And then Is Kelsey down? Okay. And then we're going to go up and over, just side bend here, hold there. Huh? She's, yeah. All right. Now we're going to press the heel of the hand into the floor. You're going to rotate, touch that arm to the floor. Then you'll open. Here the sits bone will probably come down a little bit better. Yeah. And then you'll rotate, press into the heel of the hand, rotate. Maybe the hands come close together, then press. Good. And then you're pushing into the floor. Rotate that rib back. And then open back to the side. One more. Push into the floor. Work those obliques. And then out to the side. And then you'll unweight again from those obliques. And then side bend over to the other side. Good. And then we'll switch legs. That's good. Got a little teacher behind her to check her sits bones. All right, so from here we're going to go towards that bent leg, and then we lift up. Here we'll press the heel of the hand and the elbow all the way to the mat, side bend over. Try to reach your sits bones towards the floor, and then lift up and over. And lift up. Place the hand again, elbow to the mat. Pulling up from that rib cage. You don't want to just collapse. You're pulling up, and then we unweight the arm again from those obliques and over that bent leg. And lift. Place the hand, elbow to the floor, pushing, pulling those ribs away. You're pressing the palm into the mat, and then up and over. And then we'll add on. So we go up and over, placing the hand here. Lift up through the ribs, and then press the heel of the hand into the floor and rotate that rib back. You touch the floor, and then lift into that side bend, so working through the ribs. And then the ribs go back, touch the floor, and then the ribs stack forward. I'm much better on this side. They can probably see it better, right? I can keep my right sits bone down. I could not keep my left one down. And then open, and then one more, contract around, and then open to the side, and then coming all the way up. Good. Lowering those arms. How do you feel? Good. All right, so we're going to swing those legs back forward. Reaching towards your, towards the wall or whatever. You're going to tuck through that tailbone, scoop the belly, start to roll all the way down to the floor. Good. All right, arms are just going to come down by your side. We're going to do a little bit of our traditional mat abs here. So we lift our legs up to a tabletop position. And then you can keep the head on the mat if you'd like. Otherwise, you curl the head and shoulders up off of the mat. You grab onto the right knee. Left leg's going to lengthen. And then you'll switch. Nice and slow. Right and left. Right and left. You saw like a deep pull, so you can really see the hip flexor. Right and left. One more right and left. And then both knees in. Lower your head and shoulders down. And maybe take a little rock of the chin to one side and then the other, stretching through the neck. All right, and then hands on the shins, so bring those legs back up to tabletop. Curling your head and shoulders up. Place your hands at the top of the knees, I should say, and then reach those arms back by your ears as your legs go out as low as you can. Then circle the arms and pull the knees in. Arms and legs reach away, and then like a circle, those arms that come back to the knees. Arms and legs reach away, circle, pull in. Arms and legs reach away, circle, pull in. Last two, reach and circle, pull in. And circle, pull in. Again, resting your head and shoulders down. Maybe rock your chin from side to side. Okay, lengthen your legs up to the ceiling now. Going into our scissor, you'll curl up, reach behind your right calf or thigh, totally up to your left leg lowers. And then you'll switch nice and slow. Right and left. Right and left. So you're using that pull of the leg to help you with that curl. Breathing into that upper back. And left, one more, right and left, and then both knees come in towards the chest. Roll your head and shoulders down, placing your hands behind your head for support. Elbows are touching the mat. You're going to lengthen your legs straight up to the ceiling. Keeping your head in your hands, curl the head and shoulders up off of the mat, and then you're going to lower both legs together, and then lift back up. Flex to lower, point to lift. Inhale to lower, exhale at the bottom, and rebound back up. And then flex to lower, and rebound back up. One more, flex to lower, and rebound up. And then bend those knees, and take one more little break here before we finish this series with the crisscross. So again, draw your head and shoulders up off of the mat, legs in tabletop. Right knee's going to come in, left leg's going to lengthen, then you're going to rotate to the right. And then you'll switch left. Nice and slow. Right and left. Elbow to the mat. Look at your back elbow. And left. Right and left. And then we'll double time. Right, left, right, left. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Last set. Knees in and resting down. Good job. Are you going to just flip over onto your stomachs? So you have your heads down here, getting some extension in, and then actually it's like a little stretch for your abs. So we're going to have the hands by your shoulders, and I like to go like the width of the mat. So like your middle finger is at the far edge of the mat. Okay, and then feet can be together or separated. Again, totally up to you. If you feel anything in your low back, you just separate the legs. And then your forehead rests on the mat. Elbows should be up towards the ceiling to start. And then a little bit by your side. Well, yeah, there we go. Okay, so you're squeezing your elbow towards you, and then you're going to start by just rolling your head up first, looking at the edge of the mat, and then you're going to push through the heel of the hands, and then lift your chest up. Open wide through those collarbones. Good. And then you'll start to lower back down. One vertebrae at a time. Elbows going up towards the ceiling. Got a little friend there. And then inhale, roll. And then think of drawing those elbows down towards the waistline. Then they go down towards the floor as you lift your chest all the way up. Find your lift, whatever feels good for you. Yes. And then lower back down. Perfect, Alyssa. And then head rolls up first, pubic bone presses, belly button lifts, push into the floor all the way, good, and then lower back down, one vertebrae at a time, and then head rolls up, look at the end of the mat, press those elbows down, yes, towards your waistline, lifting your chest, and then we lower all the way back down, right, and then you're going to use the press of the heel of the hands to push yourself back into a rest position, so child's pose, whatever works for you. Coming back out onto the mat, onto your tummies. And then you're going to pull your elbows underneath you, underneath your shoulders. So you're going to be kind of like in a sphinx position. And then press the palms into the floor. And I like to pull back a little bit. You'll feel your triceps. And then this time you will bring your feet together. And then you're going to press your pubic bone, but lift the belly button off the mat. So make sure you're not slouching here, really pressing into the floor and pulling back. And then we'll start with that right leg, pull, pull, and extend. And then left leg, pull, pull, and extend. Add a little flex, flex, and press. Pull, pull, and press. Collarbones nice and wide. Lifting that sternum, pressing down into the floor, belly's off the floor. So just your pubic bone is on the floor. Yes, good. One more each leg. And good. Then you're just going to rest all the way down onto the floor, going into our double leg kick. So place the hands, interlace the fingers on the low back, and let your elbows drop to the floor. So rotate your head and look towards me. Okay. And then we're trying to get the elbows to the floor as much as you can. Again, knees will stay together. Squeeze this time, heels towards your glutes for 3, 2, 1, and then you'll reach down the thigh, lift the chest. And then you'll lower your opposite cheek to the floor. Pull, 2, 3, and exhale, lift the chest, reach down the thighs, and then lower the cheek. Pull, 2, 3, and reach down the thighs, lifting through the chest. And then lower your cheek. Pull, 2, 3, and reach down the thighs, lifting through the chest, and then lower. Pull, 2, 3, and lift, extend the spine. Last time, lower the cheek. Pull, 2, 3, and extend, lift through the chest. You're going to release those arms and then place your hands next to you and push back into a rest position, rounding through the spine. All right, coming back out. We're going to find a plank position. So we're going to do leg pull. So you can be on those elbows or the wrists. So this is where you have to know your right from your left, okay? So you'll be on your in your plank position. You can be on those elbows if you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to point through the right foot. It comes off the floor. Then you flex, point through the left, and then you replace. And then point the left foot, flex, point the right, and replace. Right, lift, flex, point the left, and replace. Left, lift, flex, point the right, and replace. Right, flex, point, and replace. Left leg, flex, point right, and replace. And replace. And replace. One more, right, flex, point left, and replace. And then left, point, flex, point the right, and replace. Pull those knees underneath you and sit back towards your heels. And then rounding all the way up. You guys will just swing your legs in front of you just so you don't have to face the sun. Okay, again, hands can be however you'd like them as far as your shoulders are concerned. You guys are okay on your wrist, right? Yeah. All right, so from here, you're going to point through the feet. You're going to press down into the mat, lift through the chest. Imagine you're facing the sun, okay? And you're going to scoop through the belly. You lift your hips up. Think of that chest lifting up towards the sun. And then you're going to flex the feet, break at the hips, and reach forward. Give your wrists a little break in between. And then we swivel, swing those arms behind you. Again, press into the floor, point through the feet, scoop through the belly. Lift your chest up. And then we flex the feet. Think fold at the hips. They come back towards your hands. And then we round over. A little stretch. And then those arms circle behind you. Press into the floor. Point through the feet. Scoop the belly. Lift those hips up. Think sternum to the ceiling. Beautiful. And then flex the feet. Fold at the hips. Yep, they go back towards your hands. And then release and come forward. And then swing those arms around. Point through those feet, tuck through the tailbone, scoop through the belly. Reverse planks, yes. And then flex, fold at the hips, have a seat on the floor, and forward. And then one more time, circle those arms. Point through the feet, scoop through the belly, lift all the way up. And then flex those feet, and lower, and then reach it forward. All right, who wants to try a teaser? All right, so when I did you guys do the TheraBand class?
No, I don't have any.
All right, you could use a towel. Don't you have towels at home?
Yeah.
You have Fletcher towels?
No.
No. Oh. Yeah, I have towels. I have bath towels. All right, so we're going to be in a tabletop position. All right, reach your arms up to the ceiling. You'll circle. And then kind of grab onto the back of the thighs and let that help you pull you up. And then reach your arms, reach your legs. And then we'll bend at the knees and then slowly lower all the way back down. And then reach your arms up to the ceiling. Circle those arms. Again, you can grab onto the thighs. Let the rock of those legs help lift you up. And then find that full teaser, reach. And then lower all the way back down. Good. And then again, reach your arms up, circle around, scoop through the belly. Maybe you don't need to grab onto your thighs. Maybe you're like Heidi and can do it without it. Reach, reach. And then lower back down all the way to the floor. One more time. Circle those arms, scoop through the belly, lift yourself up, find that pretty teaser. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll come forward for a stretch. Good. All right, we are finished, girls. We're just going to finish with a little bit more stretching. We'll go into our Pilates ball and all that. So you can still continue to face there. Come back to your Pilates ball, hands on the floor, scoop through the belly, really round that spine, and then pulse your hips down towards your heels. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower the heels as soon as you can and lift all the way up. Hopefully you can get those legs nice and straight, and then take a couple pulses here, chest towards your thighs. And then holding there, shaking your head no, and nodding your chin towards your chest. And then keeping the chin to the chest, we soften those knees, slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders roll back. And then a big arm circle. Thank you very much.